All right, friends. So it's been over a week since we've touched any of this. So when I say trig to you, what phrase did I teach you about finding a side with trig?
Cover the
Socatoa. Okay. What does S stand for? Sine.
Teresa.
Opposites and hypotenuse. What about C? Cosine. Adjacent. Hypotenuse. And TOA. Tangent. Opposite. Whoops. And adjacent. Okay. So this still works for solving an angle. So the first thing we need to do is label our sides according to our reference angle. Okay, so if I cover my reference angle, which is now what I'm solving for, which side is opposite? The unknown, the one that has nothing written there, is your opposite side. So this is my O. What does that then make 8? Adjacent. Because remember, opposite and adjacent go together to create this right angle, which means 11 is my hypotenuse. The right angle is pointing at. Okay, so we don't know anything about O. So we're going to stick with A and H. So which trig function am I going to use? Cosine. That's CAH. So the cosine of my angle, what I don't know, equals which number goes on top? 8. Remember, it's CAH, C-A-H, which means A goes on top, which is your 8, and 11 goes on the bottom. Okay, when you were solving for a side, we had to put it over 1, cross multiply. This is so much easier. The last thing, you have one step when you're solving for an angle. To get the question mark or the unknown by itself, we do what we call inverse trig. So I throw cosine to the other side, and I make it the inverse. So I raise it to the -1. Okay, guess what? There's a button for that. There's a button for that. So get this written down and then grab your calculator. First thing I need you to do is check your mode and make sure that it is in degree. Okay, go to mode, exit. I need my calculator. I gotta check mine too. All right. Mode, it's in degree. Oops. Okay. So now we want the inverse cosine. So instead of hitting cosine, you want to hit second and then cosine. There's your inverse.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, because like literally in yellow it has
-1. And then you hit 8 divided by 11.
40.
Close it and hit enter. You're looking at a 43-degree angle.
Wow.
So do I put question mark equals?
Yeah, we can just stick with question mark.
We're going to have to do one of those.
43.
Oh, we're going to do a few of them. That's fine. I got you. Okay, so if you need the inverse of sine, you would hit second and then sine. If you need the inverse of tangent, you would hit second and then tangent. You only do that when you're solving for an angle. Okay, only when you're solving for an angle.
So it's 43.
So it's 43 degrees. And you're done. I think solving for an angle is a lot easier than a side.
We don't use the decimals.
It depends on what they tell you to round it to. We'll just go to the degree here. So if that one's 43 degrees, what does that make this angle? 43. This one's 43. What does that make the other one, though? Not 43. 40 what? 47. Okay, remember, this is 90, right? So if this is 43 degrees, that means this one has to be 47 because the inside of a triangle has to equal what? 180.
Oh, I thought you said since that one is 43, what's the other one? I said 43. You said 43.
Yeah, 43. Yes, because I wasn't paying attention to what you said.
Yeah,
Yes, I had to correct myself on that one.
Yeah, 'cause I'm like,
Okay, so reference angle. Which side's opposite now? 34, which means what side's adjacent? 44. So here's opposite and adjacent. So the hypotenuse is the one we're not going to use this time.
10.
So tangent, we've got O and A, so we're talking TOA. So the tangent of my unknown is what over what? 34 over 44. Okay? Again, to get that angle by itself, I have to throw tangent to the other side, which means I need to inverse it. So, again, literally, to get inverse tangent, you hit second and then tan. And then 34 divided by 44.
I remember you went over this because yesterday we did this.
So, you would technically, if they asked for the whole degree, you would round this to
38.
38. It all depends on what they're rounding it to. And they may not say round it to this, but again, it's multiple choice. Look at your answer choices. Okay. Last one then. Which one's opposite?
10.
10. Which means 11 is my hypotenuse. We're not using adjacent this time. So we're dealing with sine. So sine equals
10 over 11.
10 over 11. So we need to take the inverse sine. What do we get?
65.
I'm not checking it, so I'm trusting you all.
Question. Do
Yes.
we cut this out or no?
It's getting cut in half. So you can wait till the end if you want, and then we'll just glue them both in. Okay. 65 degrees. Okay. Take a look at all the fractions that you created. What do you notice when you put your numbers together? Smaller numbers on the top. That should always happen. Okay. That should always happen. So that's a good way to check yourself. Okay. If we go to this side, what sides do I have here? Hypotenuse and opposite. Hypotenuse and opposite. If you cover up, 31 is opposite, 53 is hypotenuse. So I'm using sine. 31 over 53.
Oh, it's the same thing even though this is ratios?
All they really wanted you to do with this one was set up sine of this equals 31 over 53.
Oh.
we're gonna take it a step farther and actually solve.
Oh,
You got what?
35.
35? Do we all agree?
That's right.
no.
Nope.
No, I don't know.
36?
35.7.
That makes it 36, my friend.
Okay.
36 degrees. Okay, that means I'm gonna let you run through these last three on your own.
I wish it was not that.
Run through these last three on your own. Try and see what happens. Oh, my dear friend Jeremiah. Your opposite is the side that will never touch your reference. No, your reference. That's your opposite.
Wait, what?
Your opposite side does not touch your reference angle. So the angle you're trying to solve for, your opposite side does not touch it. So you guys haven't heard from Jeremiah? No?
That sounds good.
Personal problem. That's all I need. Everybody has it. Things happen. I just needed to make sure he's not like in the hospital dying.
He better not be in.
Oh, I take his work to the hospital. Be like, here.
Dang, that's messed up.
I was like, I don't want no visitors. Yeah.
Well, I don't want no visitors.
Miss Smith will be on the do not disturb
Who
list.
for real? I was like, who is that?
No, she
I'm like, I
can't.
think she's a crazy lady trying to kill me. Please start away. I'm like, look, she told me she was gonna put something.
I'm a perfect red boy start freaking out.
She trying to kill me.
I would never do such a thing.
When you say it like that,
Says in that tone of voice.
that's only what somebody that wouldn't try to do. I mean, would try to do something.
For real.
Oh, no.
Y'all love me and you know it.
My ringers.
Not if you gonna bring us work on me in the hospital.
Mhm.
I would die in the hospital.
Oh, you just had surgery? That sucks. You're Sokotoa.
I pulled the plug on myself.
Right. There.
Like you
Not soak your toe, suck a toe. Let's go.
Pull the plug of the bullets.
I pulled the plug on myself. Go to heaven before I do something mad.
I mean, I'll bring you a stuffed animal and some good stuff to eat. But we're still gonna do
And then
some
you're gonna
math.
hand us like a whole workbook.
Right, that's right. Here's your interactive notebook. Here's some glue and some scissors. We're gonna put this together
I
now.
don't care if you're crippled and disabled.
What'd you
in
do
every way
now?
possible. Do it.
My friend needs help.
I can help you with finish.
I know finally.
Depending on what they give you. So. So.
I
feel better than
this one dealt with
They just went over the whole thing. They just went over the whole thing, and I was looking at the whole thing just to see if I could get two straight.
I probably wanted to.
Sadly, I don't. I'm not gonna try to make
I'm so bad. Yeah, I'm so bad.
O and A.
like, I'd rather tell people things in person than just go through a text.
But you're like looking at me, how is it close? God. Dude, I think it's dumb that I can't like pass this light. Like it's great. It's just like a dark light.
Gray is not dark light.
Yes, it is.
Gray is light.
Gray is the You add black to white to make gray, and you add white to black to make gray. It's the same thing.
You add white to black.
You add black to white, it's the same thing.
It looks like one of those.
Dude, that's like adding yellow to blue to make green.
Elementary school kids.
Silver is gray.
No, it's not. Silver is not.
Silver is gray. It's just shiny. It's just shiny gray. It's metallic gray.
Substitute teaching and waking up to the Disney Channel.
It's not art class and it's a Tuesday.
It's fine.
Shut up.
Am I
She's
saying
gonna kill
No,
us.
I hate you. I hate you.
Okay, literally.
All right.
I hate it.
Every
It
day.
makes no sense. Why are you asking me questions you know I can't answer?
I'm not old enough to answer that.
Okay,
No.
so with this one, when I cover my reference angle, the side that I am not touching is opposite. So that's over here, which makes 36 your
Like top number.
adjacent and 39 your hypotenuse. O is the one that we don't have. So we're dealing with A and H, which tells me cosine. This time it should be 36 over 39. So we take the inverse and we get what?
23.
Remember, I do not have an answer key up here. So if somebody is questioning this, I need you to be like, excuse me, can we look at that?
No, it's
23. 23.
It's
23. Okay. What sides do I have in this next triangle?
Adjacent and opposite.
Adjacent and opposites. So we're dealing with tangent. 9 over 32. So then we take the inverse tangent. Said 16. Okay. And my last one, we're dealing with what sides? Opposite and hypotenuse. So now I've got sine. So what is my angle here? 56. All right, friends. These clue in on pages 31 and 32.
131.
Listen, I thought we already understood we were past that 100 mark.